Welcome to everyone. In this video, we are going to see about the basics of Node.js. So actually Node.js is nothing but that's the runtime environment for JavaScript. So basically Node.js is an open source and cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. So what is actually open source? So this open source is a kind of software in which the source code is made available as public. That is, anyone to view, modify, distribute and use the software. So without paying any amount, so we can use the particular software that is called as open source software, and this is cross-platform software. So this allows us to create the application for various platforms. So using this Node.js, we can develop the applications that's done on different platforms. So for example, we can create the applications for desktop, mobile and also different operating systems like Windows, iOS, Linux and Android, and this basically provide the runtime environment. So what is runtime environment? Runtime environment is a software environment in which programs and applications are executed. So this is actually the software environment. Here we are executing the programs and applications. So that means this Node.js provides necessary services and resources required by the application during its applications. Actually, Node.js provide runtime environment, that means necessary services and resources required to execute the application that written by using the JavaScript. And this Node.js runs on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. So this V8 JavaScript engine, this was developed by Google. So this is also open source JavaScript engine. Initially this was used in Google Chrome. So now this is used in both the Google Chrome and also the Node.js. So in Node.js, this V8 engine allows us to create server-side applications. So for running the client-side scripts, we are using the Chrome, and for server-side scripts, so we are using this Node.js. So it allows developer to run JavaScript code on the server. So already I told this Node.js that allow us to run the JavaScript code on the server. So this is actually developed in 2009 by Riandal. It is actually non-blocking event-driven architecture. Node.js follows the non-blocking event-driven architecture. So the non-blocking means here the operations do not block for execution of other tasks. So it's here the operations not block for execution of other operations or other tasks. Instead of operations perform asynchronously. So here we are using the concept of asynchronous executions, and this follows the event-driven architecture. So here the event-driven architecture means, so here program flows determined by the events. So events means that is anything happen in the system that triggers some response. For example, so while we are clicking our system button, so that may consider as an event and they may trigger some response. So while we are clicking the button, some dialog box may be displayed or it may be retransmit to the some other page. So this actually Node.js follows this event-driven architecture. This Node.js quickly gained popularity among a wide variety of companies. So because of this nature of scalability and also the ease of maintenance and faster development. So this Node.js handle the concurrent execution, so we can create these scalable applications. And here this actually follows the modular architecture. Okay, that means we are developing the component in a small component. So here it's very easy to find out the error because we are developing a small components, that is follows the modular architecture and faster development. So here While we are using this Node.js for developing the web application, so here we are using the same language for the both the front end and also the back end. So we are using the same language, that is JavaScript, for both the front end and also the back end. So the integration is easy here. So we can quickly develop the application. And here the some of the companies that is frequently use this Node.js, that is Yahoo, LinkedIn, eBay, New York Times and Microsoft for their application. Okay, and some of the users of Node.js. So this Node.js we are used for wide variety of purposes. So this is because it's based on the V8 engine, and this is easily handled the HTTP traffic. So we are using, this is mainly used to create the different applications. So the some of the services of, that is web service API such as REST. So this web service API enable communication and interaction between the different software application over the internet. So this Node.js that is used to create that web service API. So mainly for REST based architecture. So this is actually based on the restless client and server environment. Okay, and this also creating real-time multiplayer games, that is multiplayer real-time games, backend web services such as cross-domain server-side request. We are using this Node.js also develop the cross-domain and server-side request, that is different backend services. So here the cross domain means that is handling the request from different domains. So we are creating the services for handling the request from different domain, and also the different server side requests, for example database queries. And this also used to create the web based application and also the multi-client communication such as messaging. So these are the introduction about the Node.js. This Node.js that is mainly provide the runtime environment for executing the JavaScript. So this JavaScript that use the V8 engine for execution. So this is already embedded with the Google Chrome. Now this Node.js that is built upon this V8 engine so that we can execute the JavaScript outside the browser. So we can use this JavaScript for developing the server-side application also. So it makes easy to use the same language for both the front-end and also the back-end application. Okay, now we can see the some of the JavaScript built-in Node.js built-in modules. The Node.js that provide the different built-in module. So the first one is assertion testing. So this use the module that is assert, that is used to verify the code behavior during the development. So this is used to test the functionality of a code, so during the development. And the second module is buffer. So this is mainly used to handle the raw binary data. And third one is C++ add-on. This allows for C or C++ code to be easily integrated with this Node.js module. And the next one, child process. This module provides system commands to create and manage the child process. And the next one, cluster module. This is mainly used to enable multi-core system. So we know that is what is multi-core system. That means the multi-core system that consists of multiple CPU core with single processor. So this cluster module allows us to create multiple work process that share the same server port. So here the work process that we are created to handle the client request. Then command line options. So for this command line options, so this provide the various module for enabling the command line options. So that is you can interact through the terminals. And the console, so this gives the user debugging console. Okay, this console module provide various method for outputting messages to the console. And the next module, that is crypto. This allows for creation of custom encryption. This provide the built-in functions for encryption and also the decryption. And the debugger, this allows debugging of Node.js file. This actually provide the all the options of debugging, that is means setting breakpoint and in interpreting the code one by one. Then DNS, this allows the connection to the DNS server, that is domain name server. Errors, this is allow the different mechanism for handling the error. Events, so this enables the handling of asynchronous events. So this Node.js follows the event-driven architecture. So this event modules, this will be provide the different functions for handling the asynchronous event. File system module, this allow or this provide the different functions for working with the file system that provide both the synchronous and also the asynchronous method. Globals module, so this makes frequently used modules available without having to include them first. So here we are having the one module globals. So if you are using this for installing other modules, that is actually installed globally in Node.js environment, so which can be accessed from any applications. So no need to install again and again. HTTP, so this is enable the support for HTTP features, that is for HTTP request response and so on. Then HTTPS, so this is actually provide the HTTP with the security feature. Then modules, so this module provide the module loading system for Node.js. This mainly provide the information about the current module. And net, so this allows the creation of server and client. So that means using this net module, we can create the own server in Node.js, and also this provide the functions to create the connection to the client. Next one, operating systems. So this module allow access to the operating systems that is Node.js is running on. So this is provide the functions to interact with the operating system and gather the information about the operating system. Then the path, this enable the access to a file and directory path. That means it provides different utilities for handling and manipulating the file and directory path. Process module, so this actually provide the information about the currently running process. Query strings, this allows for pausing and formatting URL queries. So this query string is actually the part of URL. This is mainly used to send the data. So this data was substituted in the actual queries. Readline module, this enable an interface to read and read from a data stream. Then REPL, that is read able print loop. This actually this is used to create the command shell, that is create the command line. Stream module, this provides the different API to build object with the stream interface. So this so if you are creating the stream interface, so that normally handle the data piece by piece. String decoder, so this provide the functionality or API to decode the buffer object into strings. Timers module, this allow for scheduling functions to be called in the future. TLS or SSL, this is used to implement the TLS and SSL protocol for implementing or adding security features in our HTTP. URL, this enable the URL resolution and parsing. So normally on the web, we are find outing the resources based on the URL. So for resolving that URL, here we are using URL modules. Utilities, this will be provide the different utility services. So for example, deprecated, that is used to represent the deprecated functions, and type module, that is used to get the types object. Then V8, so this is actually JavaScript engine, that is this provide the different modules for our APIs for interact with this V8 engine. Then VM module, this allows for V8 virtual machine to run and compile the code. That means this provides API to execute JS code within the V8 engine. Then zlib, so this is mainly provide the different functionality for both the compression and also the decompression.